All right, let's make sure everything's good to go. Today we're going to go over what I think is a good minimalist workout. I've kind of seen that this is kind of going around YouTube. I know Jeff Nippard did a video on minimalist workout. It's no coincidence, guys. It's no coincidence that Jeff Nippard did a video on minimalist workout. This is starting to kind of spread. But what I promote is not a minimalist workout. What people seem to think is that since it's not that many exercises and not that many sets, that it's somehow a minimalist workout. Meanwhile, the workout I take myself through and clients through that lasts about 30 to 40 minutes is about 20 times harder than what most long bodybuilding workouts are. So it's not a minimalist workout. The approach I teach is not a minimalist workout. But I'm going to show you what a minimalist workout is. If for some reason you have other obligations, you don't have a lot of time, say you only got 20, 30, 40 minutes a week, you can and should still be extremely healthy, strong, and in shape. You can get virtually all of the health benefits associated with strength training in about 20 to 40 minutes of exercise a week. Granted, you're probably not going to have the most impressive physique in the world. You're not going to have optimal responses from exercise. You're not going to have optimal anything with a minimalist workout. Keep that in mind, all right? Here's the thing. I know a lot of people like to be minimalist. Minimalism and optimism cannot coexist. I think that some people think they do. Some people are under the impression that they could have a minimalist workout or a minimalist this or a minimalist that and have optimal results. No, impossible. Granted, a minimalist approach can give you a heck of a lot of value, but you're not going to get the most out of it. So unless you are an extremely busy executive or something, or you have a family or something else that requires a ton of attention, there's really no reason for you to be doing a minimalist approach unless you just absolutely hate everything about exercise and fitness culture and you just want to get the health benefits. Because the difference between a minimalist approach and an optimal approach is probably about 20, 30 minutes a week. If you can't find 20 or 30 minutes, you must have you must be Elon fucking Musk. So if for one of these reasons you need a minimalist workout, say you have newborn children, you have an extremely demanding job, say you're a lawyer with newborn children. Christ, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but you know what I mean. Obviously, it's not a bad thing, but it sounds busy. Say you're an ER doctor like Dr. Doug McGuff, who I'm going to show you in a minute, an ER doctor with a family. Minimalist workout, for some time, it might be what you need. But keep in mind, you're not going to see the best results possible from a minimalist workout. You will see good results. Fuck yeah, you'll see good results. But will they be the best? No. Come on. No. So, high-intensity training, not a minimalist approach. But I'm going to show you what I think a very good minimalist workout would be. And that is, let me ask, has anybody read Body by Science in the chat? So, Body by Science is a book written by Dr. Doug McGuff and John Little. There's about a gazillion research papers cited in the back. And what this book did was kind of just look at the research and kind of break down exercise from a scientific point of view. John Little was an exercise researcher, enthusiast, and author. Brilliant human being. Did a lot of work with Bruce Lee and Mike Menser. Dr. Doug McGuff is an emergency room physician and the smartest human being I've ever met in my entire life. So together they wrote a book. And in the book, they endorsed something called the Big 5 workout. Okay. Now, what a lot of people thought upon reading the book, all right, we need to make a correction here. What a lot of people thought upon reading this book is I think many people who bought Body by Science and read Body by Science didn't actually read the full book, kind of took little snippets out of it and misinterpreted it. And what Body by Science suggested was something called the Big 5. The Big 5 in Body by Science was misinterpreted as you can be average Joe, do these 5 exercises, one set once a week, and have a tremendous physique. This is what people interpreted Body by Science as. But if you read the chapter in this Body by Science book, let me bring up Body by Science. Well, it's actually right here. If you read the chapter called The Big 5 in Body by Science, the first fucking sentence says, now these exercises are a good starting point. In fact, let me get the book. Hold on. Find it. Well, I don't know where Body by Science is. It was in my old desk, and then I broke my desk, and I misplaced it. But anyway, the Big 5 was a good starting point. But with that said, I think it's a very good minimalist routine. You're not going to get, most people are not going to get optimal results from the Big 5. You can and should do more. So when it comes to a minimalist workout, the Big 5 is great. You can do these 5 exercises and address every major muscle group in your entire body. Granted, you do them hard with a lot of intensity. 1 or 2 times a week, you're going to see tremendous health benefits. I've trained people in my studios doing the Big 5 workout, 1 to 2 sets to failure, 5 exercises once a week, and their health improvement was fucking insane. We didn't do the Big 5 workout like some idiot in Crunch Fitness. This is an idiot in Crunch Fitness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, set down text. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, set down text. No, we didn't do it like that. We actually fucking trained the muscle. And if you do it this way, you'll see tremendous health benefits from the Big 5. So, the best minimalist routine is the Big 5. Why? Beat it. Got excited. Because the Big 5 addresses the anterior pushing muscles in the horizontal plane, the pushing muscles in the vertical plane, the pulling muscles in the vertical plane, the pulling muscles, the posterior muscles in the horizontal plane, and the legs. 5 exercises. So let's look at what it is. The exercises, the seated row. So the first exercise of the Big 5 is a seated row, or just any row, which is going to work the rhomboids, the trapezius, the rear delts, and the lats. Pretty much all your posterior pulling muscles. The chest press, obviously, the anterior pushing muscles, pecs, front delts, the triceps, the forearms. The pull down, more emphasis on the lats, but still going to work all the other scapular muscles. The overhead press, front medial delts, triceps, forearms. Then, of course, the leg press, all the muscles in the hips and thighs. Okay? Perfect minimalist workout. And if you do this, it could take you about 12 minutes to do the whole workout if you do it properly. Now, how should you do the Big 12 workout? The Big 12. The Big 5. How should you do this? You should not do it like an average Crunch gym goer or Planet Fitness gym goer. I'm going to show you how you should do the Big 5 workout as a minimalist routine to see the best results. Now, we happen to have a video here of Doug going through this workout. Okay? It's a short video. Nevertheless, a good video. So Doug is doing what's called a super slow cadence here. Not my favorite, but Doug promotes a super slow cadence. He's going to do 1 set to failure.
13.
With everything.
14 seconds.
These are on RenX machines, I believe, or super slow systems. So you can see he's at about 35 seconds of time under load already. He's only done like a rep and a half, okay? I just want you to see the level of intensity that he puts into each one of these exercises. Of course, he's going very slow. Doug might be about, 2011. Doug was 54 or so. 53 or 54 years old in this video. So, he's protecting his joints. He's not going to move quickly. He's an emergency room physician. He's been doing this. And look, at 54 years old, looks pretty good, huh? Probably around 11, 12% body fat. So he's on what?
Minute
4 here?
13. Stay with it.
Now watch how Doug reaches failure. He's the one who wrote Body by Science, by the way. He's the emergency room physician. He owns a studio in Seneca, South Carolina since 1997, I believe. He's trained fucking over 100,000 sessions. Probably more, 200,000. He knows what he's doing. But watch the intensity he puts into each one of these big 5 exercises.
Don't stop. Pull as fast as you can. Drive it down. There you go.
Put those captions on.
Come on, Doug. Hold it in. Squeeze. Good. He's back up.
147. Yeah. At this point in the exercise, your arms pretty much feel numb. Now he's contracting as hard as he can here. Complete failure. Boom. Now watch. He goes right to the next exercise. He's not fucking around.
There we go. Okay. Jump in and get it.
So he's going to do the vertical pull. He's going to go into the anterior muscle groups now. You want to rotate between posterior and anterior. You're going to do this. Watch. You're going to start the exercise slowly. All the machines are already set up. Boom. No rest. You do a big 5 workout like this once or twice a week as a minimalist routine, you will see nasty results. Will they be optimal? No. Will they be good? Yes. Again, he's doing a super slow cadence. I prefer anywhere between 4 and 7 seconds each direction. He's doing 10 seconds each direction. Not my favorite, but to each their own. You can do super slow on MedX machines like this because they're so smooth. A lot of machines have so much friction that if you were to do super slow, you'd probably just get a series of starts and stops, and your muscles would actually end up relaxing throughout the range. I'm going to answer questions while this is playing. Anybody have any questions? Doug has huge arms for his age. Yeah, now he's about 62, 61, 62 years old. Still big-ass arms. Doesn't look 54.
Come on, Doug.
Yeah, he's about 50, I would say 53, 54 there. Good shape. Emergency room physician, dude. You know the hours he works? Look at him. Look at this dude in his mid-50s. It's kind of funny. You know what he's been doing? What he did was he pretty much did high-intensity training, kind of minimalist training once or twice a week. That's what he did because he had such a busy work schedule. This cadence isn't for the weak-hearted, no. So when you're using, he's using MedX equipment and super slow systems. The equipment is so smooth and frictionless, you can do super slow. Look, they're giving him a force rest. He's dead. He's dead, and he's pushing as hard as he possibly can. He's only on the second exercise.
Take it away from us.
Relax your face, baby. There you go.
That's a serious set right there. And now they're going to hand it off to him and let him try to stop.
Good job.
So that's failure. When you can't even stop the weight,
So I need
that's failure.
No, you're good.
Now look,
You'll be
he
all right.
ain't taking a
You need a
rest.
fan or you got?
He's going right into the next
please.
one. Look at his arms. 54 years old.
Okay. Go.
Awesome. Yeah, I believe that's a super slow system. Look at this machine. It pulls you along guide rods there. That's pretty cool. I've never used one of these. See the big cam, the big black circular thing? Drops the resistance off. Let me see. Ron Burgundy, what do you say? Ron Burgundy. For someone that works a night shift, works out early in the morning, any tips on recovery? I just feel slightly drained working throughout the night. Yeah, I don't know, man. Take a nap. The only tip I could give you really is to take a nap. Nothing is really going to help with recovery other than more rest, adequate hydration, adequate nutrition. If you can take a nap before going to work at the night shift,
Let's go.
you will see a massive improvement.
Yeah, that whole Doug. Breathe.
Look at Doug's
Go,
arms
go,
at
go.
54 fucking years old. Well, intensity training doesn't work. Blah, 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 blah.
Good.
Yeah, tell that to the emergency room physician with fucking 17-inch biceps at 54. Let's see. All right, the chest press machine, the chest press machine in my gym is a free motion epic. It converges at the end of the rep, but the handles appear to be slightly internally rotated at the beginning position. Is this machine safe? I don't know. If you feel like crap, don't work out. Exactly. 100% correct. Look at this super slow. I'll review this question when the video is done. Now look at this super slow systems overhead press.
Lean
Now
back,
keep in
lean
mind, these
forward.
machines, you're never going to
Breathe.
see these machines because they're I think they're like built to order.
Good. Come on down.
Ken Hutchins invented these machines. Yeah, it's super slow systems, and they are insanely expensive.
Lean into
You'll
it.
never
Breathe.
be probably not.
Breathe.
But if you're a trainer and own a studio,
down.
you should have MedX or super slow systems.
Go a little.
And one in the back there looks like a modified Nautilus pullover. Look, they did a drop set here. Ready? Watch this drop set. So they went a little heavy on the resistance. He died out pretty quick. He's not
Come on
taking any
down.
rest. Let's see. This is a good way to do a drop set.
Lean
He
back,
notices
lean
the time
forward.
under load
Breathe.
is a little bit short.
Good. Come on down.
And this is what an instructor, this is a trainer, guys. This is what a trainer does. A trainer watches you the whole time, talks you through the whole workout. Doesn't ask you about your fucking weekend. Doesn't say, nice, bro.
Don't lean back. Lean into
That's not
it.
a
Breathe.
trainer. That's a Crunch
Breathe.
Fitness fucking wannabe.
Reinforce it.
This is a
Come on
trainer.
down.
Ready? Drop the weight. Boom, boom. Back up. That's a drop set. That's a breakdown set. Ideally, if you had a partner to help you go through this,
Lean forward. Lean
he
forward.
could drop the weight for you.
Good. Ease down.
Probably gonna go again here. All right, ready? Yep. I'm just
Lean.
gonna force rep.
Stay with me.
Now he's gonna give him
Drive it
just
up, drive it up.
enough
Don't lean back.
assistance
Just stay in that
to
groove right there.
complete the
Don't lean back.
repetition.
Don't lean
Doug is
back. Breathe.
pushing
Push
as
it up.
hard as he can here.
Right there.
He's giving him
Come down as
just
slow as
enough.
you can. All right.
Boom. All right, so we did
Yes, the weight room.
all the 4 upper body exercises. Ready? Now he's going to finish with the leg press. I recommend you finish with the leg press. All right, because when you do the leg press, if you're doing a big 5 minimalist thing, this is another super slow systems leg press. Look at this thing. Fucking amazing. If you're doing a big 5 minimalist workout, you're probably going to want to end on the leg press because just the metabolic stress is just going to be so insane that it's going to be tough to finish the rest of the workout. Ace quiet. Nobody wants to hear that. Range was a little short on this. So he's at the last exercise here. This is your minimalist workout. Look at the whole thing lasts about 10.5 minutes. No break in between. Again, Doug is in insanely good shape. Ace, take it away.
Real slow. Good.
So, and he knows what he's doing. You guys might want to go a little slower.
He's out of that.
All right, you guys keep watching. Grab it.
One more. Slow way down. There you go. Good. One minute. Ease down. Slow down. Light touch. Barely move. Real slow. Good. Good. One speed up. That's it. Ease down. Slow start. Good.
Dude, notice these reps. Look at his triceps. 54 years old.
Good. In at
High
35.
intensity training
Good.
doesn't work.
Stay with it.
High intensity
Relax your
training
arms.
doesn't work for naturals. What?
Light touch.
54,
Drive it out.
dude.
Go, Doug. There you go.
It's 54. It looks better than most of the
Go fast.
triggered
Back down.
YouTube commenters.
Slow
He's
down
a
here.
fucking
Light
emergency
touch.
room
Go get
physician.
this. That's it. Slow down.
See, even Doug, with all of his experience, an instructor added to the
59.
equation,
Stay with it. You got
makes
one
this a
more.
lot better. So this is why a
Slow down. Slow it down. Light touch and go. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe.
Good
Breathe.
career
There you go. Stay with it.
never
Come on, Doug. Drive it up. Breathe. 211. Come on down. Try
There'll
one
never
more.
be a
Don't stop.
machine that
Try.
can do what
Breathe.
this guy's
Breathe.
doing.
There you go. 216.
So that's his whole workout. He should have lifted the back before him and let him get out, but whatever.
Not bad. I had to wait wrong on the shoulder press.
He's probably going to lay on the floor. Most people do. So Josh Trentine is an IFBB pro, high intensity training instructor. Probably piss off Greg Doucette because Greg Doucette's an IFBB pro, and therefore he thinks he knows everything. Okay, whatever. Let me see if I get this video play. Why isn't it working? Oh, come on. Fuck off.
Movement of the first
So-
repetition is more important than initiating movement of the load, period. So what I'd like you to do is pay attention.
This
to
is
that.
Josh Trentine. He's an IFBB pro competitor
What you do is
and
very
a
rarely
high intensity
use
training
full
instructor. He
force
does
on the
super
handle
slow.
of mine. Hand to you. That is yours. Begin to allow your arms to straighten into extension of the starting position.
No, the slow friction.
When I say the word there, I want you to barely change direction.
I believe Josh Trentine was taught by
Continue pulling down at a pace
Ken
of about
Hutchins.
an inch per second until I cue you to arrest movement.
Very-
Stay there. Pause. Feel the scapula of your upper back pull together. There. Change direction.
So he really pauses in that contractive position. Man, look at this pull down machine. This is fucking cool. I've never even seen one like this.
There. You'll notice early on here, it's not too difficult to maintain this pace. As you start fatiguing, continue to pull as though you were pulling the handles all the way.
So you guys wonder why I don't post a lot of training videos. Kind of boring, isn't it? A well-performed workout is pretty boring. Whatever works for naturals works for enhanced 2 in the field of training. Duh. Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, here's the thing. What do anabolic steroids do? They increase your recovery time, they speed it up, and they increase your tolerance for training. So why would a natural need more training than someone who's enhanced? That makes no fucking sense. That's like trying to heat something up with a fucking ice cube. That makes no sense at all. Nuts. Nuts. So when it comes to a minimalist routine, that's it. Do the big 5. And if you haven't, go get Body by Science. Okay, let me bring it up with the shopping, whatever. All right, go get Body by Science. Read Body by Science. Like, man, it's probably the most educational exercise book ever written. Greg Doucette obviously has not read Body by Science or anything in the same fucking universe as Body by Science. Greg Doucette read Muscle Mag, I bet. I like to pick on him. He's a good guy, but I do like to pick on him. Go pick up Body by Science. It'll talk more about the Big Five. It'll talk more about, dude, Body by Science goes deep. It goes into genetic factors. It goes into, do you know what angiotensin converting enzyme is? No. Well, if you read Body by Science, you will. Do you know what interleukin 15 is? If you don't, you will after you read Body by Science. I highly recommend if you're interested in exercise, buy that book. And if you just want to learn how to train without having to read fucking Body by Science, go to goldenerrowsystem.com, pick up my program. My program has videos on explaining principles and then exercise demonstration videos, just showing you what the hell to do. So if you don't feel like reading an entire book and learning how to do this, go to goldenerrowsystem.com, pick up my program, and you get a home workout for free. When are the time static contraction exercise being uploaded into Golden Arrow or the home workout? Whenever I got the time to edit them. So I will be adding exercises to these programs. So if you haven't gotten it, go get it. Ooh. All right, I'm going to go through a couple of questions. All right, what's your thoughts on training around an injury? I have a QL issue. What do you mean by QL? Found your material because I've been researching benefits of machine over barbells. Well, what is a machine? A machine is an improved barbell. What's a barbell? It's weight. What does weight do? Add resistance to a target muscle group depending on how you use it. What does the added resistance do? Accelerate the fatiguing process. What does a machine do? Add resistance to the target muscle group to accelerate the fatiguing process. Machines are just a safer, generally, if they're designed right, more efficient barbell. That's all. That's all machines are. They're going to have the same exact results, but safety and efficiency should mean something to you. Like when you drive your car, don't you want safety and efficiency? You don't go below the speed limit, do you? You don't go below the speed limit with your head out the window when you drive your car, do you? No. Safety and efficiency should be important to you. Safety and efficiency is important in everything else in life besides exercise for some reason. For some reason, people would choose to use a fucking battle rope or a tire and a sledgehammer than an exercise machine. We're going backwards in technology when it comes to fitness technology. Give me more information on your injury and I can help. When you do hit, you empty glycogen, right? A lot of it, not all of it, no, but a lot of it. So does that lost glucose count as calorie expenditure? You can eat more. Well, yeah, if you're breaking down glucose into substrate, you are going to be the amount of energy used. A calorie is just a simple measurement of how much energy is used throughout your bodily functions. So if you're breaking glucose down, the substrate, into usable ATP, there's going to be an energy consumption there. And the energy output is going to be measured as a calorie. So yes, you're going to be burning calories, but you don't burn a lot of calories in any form of exercise. It's grossly exaggerated how many calories are burned in exercise. Do you want to know why it's grossly exaggerated? So the fitness industry was able to sell you fucking bullshit. So they exaggerated how many calories were burned, so you bought their stupid ass ab roller. Come on, guys. Anything with the word industry on it indicates that it's probably a scam. So no, you cannot eat more throughout the day if you do a workout. No. This type of training releases endorphins after the set is complete. Hell yeah, it does. You feel like $1,000,000. Yesterday, I was kind of grumpy. It was cold here in Florida, which is bizarre. I hate the cold weather, so I went and did squats, and it felt good the rest of the day. Yes, of course it does. This is why people get kind of addicted to training, though, because the endorphin release is great. But if you go do recreation or like a sport, just go shoot hoops, go to the driving range, hit some golf balls, hit some baseballs. You'll get that endorphin release without punishing your body in the process. I rest a lot between sets. Is that something bad? No. No, it's not bad. You're probably not maximizing the cardiovascular stimulus, but it's certainly not bad. Because I feel like puking every time I go to failure. Well, in that case, you have to rest. You don't want to rush like Doug did if it's going to make you puke. All right. If you feel like you're going to puke, pull back. Pull back a little. It's not a bad thing to rest. Doug, I remember when Doug gave his speech, one of the speeches I watched, it was 2010. He said he had a resting heart rate of 40, and he was 52 years old with a resting heart rate of 40. Doug's metabolism and cardiovascular system is so good that he can go that quickly through a workout. Most of you can't in the beginning. I made the mistake of initiating one of my workouts with a leg press. It ruined my workout. Yeah, I would do it at the end. Doug's got muscle separation in his legs. Hell yeah, he does. For 54, it's pretty damn good. All right, here we go. Ivanko gripper right earlier today. Top piece of equipment. Dude, yeah. Do a video on it. Post it somewhere. That Ivanko gripper, best way to work your forearms. Best way. All right, let's see. I recall a study saying that a decent rest doesn't affect gains. Not sure, though. Yeah. The literature seemed to suggest that resting between sets does not affect gains, and going quickly between sets does not make your gains any better. So it's kind of up to you. There are studies when people took roids and made gains doing nothing. Well, you're not going to gain muscle doing nothing. Steroids would probably add body weight in terms of water retention, but you're not going to gain muscle doing nothing, even if you're on steroids. Unless you're on a huge amount of testosterone, a huge amount. But let's see. Your video on tricep kickback is incorrect. I explained why in the comment section. Well, explain why here. I don't think it is. I don't think my tricep kickback explanation is incorrect, but explain here. Because I'm probably not going to go back to that video and read the comments. Why does HIIT and people who support it like you get criticized even though it delivers very good results? Well, there was a period of time where the vast majority of the population believed the earth was flat. You may not remember it because you were not alive. And anybody who disagreed with them was put in jail. So why do people criticize things that are common and things that are popular? Well, when it comes to high intensity training, the reasons are very simple why people criticize it. One, deep down, they realize they may have wasted an enormous amount of time in the gym with no additional benefit. Two, people who associate or identify with fitness, such as fit chicks or gym bros who post videos all the time doing workouts that nobody gives a shit about, they're going to be very offended because now high intensity training principles are attacking their identity. And without their fitness identity, they have nothing. So they're going to defend what they've been doing for years because it's who they are. Three, high intensity training principles go against popular belief. Anything that goes against popular belief is heavily criticized. Watch the Netflix series with Graham Hancock exploring in detail some things that we got wrong about human history. And Graham Hancock took a beating over his career, even questioning what was thought to be the history of modern civilizations. Took a beating. This is just how the world works, guys. I'm correct. Whether anybody likes it or not, most of what I say is correct. And if what I say becomes incorrect, I'll correct it. Ace, take it away. No, I'm not playing with you. I like Greg. I don't always agree with him, but I like how he actually examines studies. I like Greg. I've been watching Greg do set for years. I think he's fucking hilarious. But he's wrong about cardio, and he's wrong about high intensity training. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about triceps kickbacks. The guy who left the comment, leave a comment. I'll read it. I don't mind being wrong. I'd like to correct myself. I'm not right about everything. I'm giving my best effort and trying to be as right as I possibly can. And I get a lot of it correct, but it doesn't mean I get it all correct. All right. When you use steroids, you will make gains even if you don't train. That's not correct. That's not correct. It's just not. You need the stimulus. Well, listen, that could be correct because there is a small hormonal stimulus responsible for muscle growth, but you would have to take a ton of steroids to grow without training, like 1,000 milligrams of testosterone a week or something. I have quadratus lumborum that is always tight. I don't even know what that is. I think it stemmed from incongruency with my squat. I have access to the latest line of hammer strength equipment. I was considering your program. My program will make it feel better. It just will. I've had dozens of clients coming in with all kinds of problems, and simply applying the stimulus with adequate volume, adequate frequency, and adequate rest and recovery, a lot of these things tend to sort themselves out. And by lowering the momentum, you're going to close to eliminate the chance of injury. All right, let's see. Okay, the movie Bigger, Faster, Stronger followed people taking steroids, and the people that didn't lift weights didn't get any bigger. Yeah, probably. I could admit, okay, if you took like grams of testosterone weekly, you'd probably grow muscle without training. Depends on your genetics, though. But yeah, you can't just take steroids and not train and grow. That's asinine. Absolutely asinine. All right, it's easier for me to do 3,000 calories a day and 1,500 the next day. Is that a legit way to induce calorie deficit? I would imagine as long as the calorie deficit, as long as there's an overall calorie deficit, like at the end of the week, probably. I find it weird. Humans are the only animal that count calories to lose fat. Even a sedentary animal like a lion at the zoo who is eating the right food for their species does not get fat. Dude, yeah, just go figure. Like, we eat that much more than we're supposed to. All right. Oh, the free motion epic chest press. You don't need to email it to me. I'll just look right now. Free motion epic. Oh. Free motion's cable machines are pretty good. I like them. But I've never seen this. Yeah, $5,000 for this fucking thing. All right, let's look. So, I don't like it. You'd be better off, if you were this guy, you'd be better off lowering the seat and using the neutral grip handles. I wouldn't use those handles. Because they're internally rotated. Honestly, you would want to abduct or adduct your arm more. This machine is fucked. Ugh. Yeah, it's just shit. It's just trash. And it's really trash if you're doing it like this stupid broad right here. What the fuck? I wouldn't use that machine. You'd be better off doing a barbell bench press than that thing. All right, let's see. There's studies on people who took steroids and made gains. Well, guys, remember that could be steroid propaganda. I mean, I don't know. The world doesn't like steroids much. If you can find the study, post it. I'll read it. Hey guys, just so you know, Girls 18 XYZ, new dating site. What the fuck? So fucking ridiculous. Block. I don't know how they figure this shit out. What do you think of pumping every day, like the old school saying of farm men, and that's why they're strong without lifting weights? Only farm work. Well, think about it. Who said farm workers are strong? Strong at what? You know, this kind of stuff like, well, people who work on a farm are strong. According to who and according to what? What do you mean? Yeah, I'm sure they're strong, but they're not stronger than someone who lifts weights. No way. Sure, like farm work will make you stronger, but they're not just generally stronger individuals. According to who and according to what? It's just like a weird statement with literally no evidence at all whatsoever behind it. It's just not a good. And HIIT is hard. It's easier to dismiss the idea than go through the discomfort. Yeah, I mean, guys, it makes complete sense. I mean, you know, I've supervised thousands and thousands and thousands of workouts. Like some tool was commenting on the video before I posted it, saying, I'm going to believe Jeff Nippert instead of you. I'm like, interesting. Jeff Nippert's a YouTuber. I own 2 gyms. I've supervised over 20,000 workouts in person. I've recorded every single one for 8 years. I'm a published author for medical magazines when it comes to exercise. I'll post them later. I do an article every quarter for 2 medical magazines. I'm a published speaker. I'm a published fucking model. Who the fuck is Jeff Nippert, dude? Who the fuck? Jeff Nippert is a YouTuber. I got more experience than Jeff Nippert and Greg Doucette combined when it comes to training people. But whatever. Don't care. All right. Go back. Okay. I see where you're coming from. Go back to chapter 2 of Nautilus Bulletin. The muscle can produce the most force in a position of full contraction. Wrong. There are things in the Nautilus Bulletin that are wrong, okay? The muscle cannot produce the most force in full contraction because it is in a position of active insufficiency, okay? Let me show you something. This is wrong. There are some things in the Nautilus Bulletin that were wrong, and this is correct, or this is one of them. You cannot look Nautilus bulletins are good, but there are things he got wrong. Absolutely things Arthur Jones got wrong. And this is one of them. Dude, you need to stop believing that the muscle can produce the most force in the contracted position. This is completely, utterly false. Let me find this. Yeah, this is something that a lot of people used to believe, but it's incorrect. Just got to find the correct image here that displays it right. There's one image I really like, and I can't find it. Oh. No, that's not it. Actually, I think I have it saved. Hold on. But no, a muscle does not produce the most form in the fully contracted position because the actinomycin filaments in the titin start to bend, and this limits the amount of cross-bridging that can occur between filaments. Therefore, force production goes down. The muscles can produce the most force somewhere in the mid-range. Where's this picture? Here it is. All right. Let me share it. Do not follow Nautilus Bulletin blindly, because a lot of it was incorrect. So, am I right on this? I think this is. All right, so this would be mid-range optimal overlap. Okay, right there. This would be, whoops, no. This would be full contraction, excessive overlap. Dude, this is the worst thing. I don't know what I'm doing here. It sucks. This would be full contraction, least amount of, or excessive overlap. This would be lengthened or passive insufficiency, less overlap. Okay. So when you're in the fully contracted position, you see how the myosin filament starts to bend, and this limits the amount of cross bridging that can occur between the myosin heads and the actin filament. Okay, this is why your muscle actually produces less force in the fully contracted position. Your muscles produce the most force somewhere in the mid-range, where actin and myosin can produce the most cross bridging. So although the Nautilus Bulletin said you produce the most force in the contracted position, it was wrong. All right, wait, let's see. Oh, what's going on here? All right, let's see. John Lowell's max contraction video say that triceps can produce the most force in elbow flexion, in full elbow flexion. That would be this. But if you're doing a triceps kickback, you're getting absolutely no load in full elbow flexion. Tricep is strongest midway through the movement when it's strongest at its maximally contracted position like every other muscle. No, dude, this is wrong. I'm sorry. That's incorrect. The muscle is not the strongest in its fully contracted position. Sorry. Let's see. Arguing for the kickbacks, it provides the most resistance in maximally contracted position. That's the problem. It's providing the most resistance in that maximally contracted position where active insufficiency or excessive actin and myosin overlap occurs. This is not good. That is not good. You do not want that. Does physical labor work hinder recovery for HIIT workouts? Depends on how physical. Jeff Nippert is a bodybuilder. Yeah, so what? I know girls. I know girls who took Anavar and got their pro cards. Do you think they know a fucking thing about training? Just because you're a bodybuilder doesn't mean you know what the fuck you're talking about. High carbs going to give you a heart disease in the long run. It's not so simple. Mike Mentzer preached high carb, died at 49. Mike Mentzer also smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day and did amphetamines. That's why he died. All right. Recently discovered you about a month ago, and I'm really digging the content. Yeah, dude, try, or whoever you are, Chari. Try the program. So far, good. All right, this is the entire concept of John Little's max contraction training. Well, then he's wrong. Well, like, dude, this is the facts. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If that's what John Little said, he's also wrong. Sorry. It's not even up for debate. This is basically physiology. So you're basically telling the entire concept behind Nautilus equipment is wrong. No, because the Nautilus equipment drops the weight off in the fully contracted position. Dude, relax. Shush, shush, shush. Calm down. Calm down. Because the Nautilus provides the most. No, it doesn't. What are you talking about? No, it doesn't. What are you talking? Nautilus does not provide the most resistance in the fully contracted position. Dude, go back and read stuff. You're way, way off. Where did you hear that? Nautilus reduces the amount of resistance in the extended position, adds the most somewhere in the mid-range, and reduces in the contracted position. What are you talking about? Okay, by that logic, dude, chill the fuck out. Relax. Go back and read stuff, because I don't know where you came up with the belief that Nautilus provides the most resistance in the fully contracted position, because it doesn't. Yeah. Exercise thoughts and discussions is an experienced trainer. Exercise thoughts and discussions. What do you think Nate is talking about here? Because Nate Blair seems to believe that Nautilus concepts believe in providing more resistance in the contracted position, and he's very adamant about it. But he's wrong. Dude, you got to calm down, Nate. I'm sorry, Nate, but you're incorrect here. No matter how much you yell, you're still going to be incorrect. I don't know what to tell you, man. Here, let me bring out moment arm exercise. I mean, sheesh. All right, Nate. Sit down, Nate. Relax. Sit down. I'm going to teach you something. You may have read some Nautilus stuff, but you misunderstood it. You need to realize that you misunderstood it, okay? Calm down. Relax. I don't know what you read, but you did not understand it correctly. And exercise thoughts and discussion. Jump in and help me out here if you want, because I think the guy's about to have an aneurysm. All right, so let's talk about this. Okay. So, I'm trying to find a good chart here. So generally, this is a book called Moment Arm Exercise. This is an awesome book written by Bill DeSimone, all on biomechanics, okay? So for most muscles, this is what the muscle torque or force production curve looks like. In the least concentric action, which is going to be the lengthened position, the amount of muscle torque or force the muscle can produce is low. Somewhere in the middle, you're getting the maximum amount of muscle force. And then once you get to the fully contracted or the most concentric action of the range of motion, the amount of muscle force goes down. Okay? This is widely known and accepted in exercise physiology. And it has to do with actin and myosin overlap. Okay? Minimal overlap, when the muscle is lengthened, low force. Optimal overlap, somewhere in the mid-range, maximum force. Complete overlap, reduced force. Okay? Okay, I don't know where this quote is from. The strength of a muscle depends upon its position. Muscles are weakest in their fully extended position, strongest in their fully contracted position. Okay, That is old Nautilus belief. That is wrong. That was Arthur Jones wrote that in the 70s. Okay, he was wrong. I know Arthur Jones, chapter 7. Arthur Jones was wrong. Just because Arthur Jones wrote it, he was not right about everything. He was wrong about this. He was incorrect about this. Yes, the Nautilus bulletins are great. They're great, but there are things he got wrong. Just because Arthur Jones wrote this in the 70s does not mean it's correct. You need to use your critical thinking, bro. Use critical thinking. Sometimes we learn things as 60 years goes by. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, jeez. This is the entire concept of Nautilus equipment. No, it's not. Oh my God. Thoughts and discussions. Can you pipe in here and help the guy out? Because he's not getting what I'm telling him. All right, let's go over cams. This isn't what I wanted to do tonight, but Nate doesn't seem to be understanding. You're right, Nate. You wrote the Nautilus bulletins. I've supervised over 20,000 sessions in my gym with Nautilus equipment. You know what you're talking about, and I'm fucking clueless. You're correct. Come on, dude. Come on, man. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, let me see. Actually, I could bring up that video I was looking at the other day. That's from chapter 7, cam action. Dude, for some muscle groups, it may add a little more resistance, but dude, no, Arthur Jones was wrong about that. The cams were modified. No, the whole point of the cams is to vary resistance throughout the range of motion. It is not to simply add resistance. If you look at a cam, most cams will have the most resistance somewhere in the middle of the range of motion. I will show you. Let's see. Nautilus equipment. Cam. Okay. Okay, you ready? This is gonna probably piss you off a little bit, but let's see. So let me share this. So this is how the cam works, okay? When you're in the lengthened position, the distance between, so we're going to look at the Kevlar belt or the weight and the distance between the axis of rotation and where the belt interacts with the weight. So a well-designed cam is going to have a shorter distance. This isn't necessarily the design of the cam applied to the biceps, but the cam is going to have a shorter distance between the axis of rotation and the Kevlar belt in the lengthened position. It's going to have more distance somewhere in the mid-range, and then it's going to reduce the distance again in the contracted position. All right, so let's look at let's look at this one. Oh, shit. That was a good picture, too. All right, let's look at this one, the pullover machine. Look at the axis of rotation and the moment arm between the chain and the cam. Notice the moment arm is shorter in the contracted position. See, look at the distance. Shorter. Longest in the mid-range. Shorter again, slightly in the extended position. So that's the purpose of the cam. It varies the resistance by reducing the moment arm between the chain and the axis of rotation throughout the range of motion. It's actually the longest right about here. So where Simon's elbows are about perpendicular with the floor is going to be about here in the cam angle, where it's the longest, because your lats are about strongest in the mid-range, which is going to be about this area. So, yeah, Arthur Jones said that, but, you know, he was incorrect. Maybe the old cams. Well, you can see the old cams. I'm not sure how this is designed, but you can see the old cams. Look at the old cams. The most distance between the axis of rotation and where the Kevlar belt or the chain interacts with the cam is somewhere in the mid-range, dude. At the end, it's shorter. At both ends, the moment arm is shorter. See? Somewhere in the middle is the longest. The Nautilus cam loads the muscle the most in the mid-range, where the moment arm is the longest. So I'm not sure where you got that from. Maybe on the biceps exercise. Yeah, you can see with the old biceps exercise, the cam is the longest in the contracted position, but that was wrong. So this is the old machine, probably the machine he was using in the 70s, where the cam produced the longest moment arm in the contracted position here with this biceps exercise. But that was wrong. That was absolutely wrong. If we look at a new Nautilus biceps, see if we can see what the cams look like on the new ones. They've been modified to more properly address the strength curve. You can't really see them. Not this one. As you can see with this one, look at this one. The distance between the axis of rotation is longest in the mid-range. Shorter in the contraction, shorter in the extension. So I don't know where you got that from, but it's incorrect, bud. Sorry. So that's how cams work. Look at the cam. You could see in any machine. Some of the older Nautilus stuff, yeah. So when Arthur Jones learned that he was incorrect, the cams were adjusted. I mean, all the stuff was adjusted. All the stuff was adjusted. Arthur Jones learned over time. Arthur Jones used to train with 3 sets, and it took him 30 years to realize 1 set was better than 3. So yeah, you'll notice with most cams, they will look like that. They will be longest somewhere in the middle. And it's all got to do with moment arms. So think about moment arms. I hold the weight here versus I hold the weight here. If I hold the weight out here, it's much heavier, isn't it? The distance between the axis of rotation and the load is called the moment arm. So when you're using a cam, you can have that Kevlar belt or that chain interact with the cam at a further distance from the axis of rotation, creating a longer moment arm. And you can shape the cam to where that distance changes throughout the range of motion. That's what's brilliant about the cam. Some like hammer strength uses levers for this. So like, I'll show you. We're going over these videos. Where are they? Film. So hammer strength equipment uses levers and counterweights to vary the resistance. Not perfect, not as good as a cam, but it works. So I was training a client of mine. So some machines will use levers and counterweights. So as you see in the length and position, ready? Here, let me move this stupid thing. All right. Here's the axis of rotation, right? Right here. Here's the load. The distance is shorter between the load and the axis of rotation. Look at the angle of this bar. So in a length of position, the distance of the moment arm is shortened, reducing the load. Just like holding a weight versus here versus holding a weight here. So the weight is closer to him, closer to the axis of rotation, making it lighter. Now, when he gets to the mid-range, In the mid-range, look at the distance between the load and the axis of rotation is now longer. So he's getting more load in this position. So hammer strength machines use levers to vary the resistance. You get less down here by reducing the moment arm and the length of position. You get the most in the mid-range, and now look what happens when he contracts. We shorten the axis of rotation again in the contracted. We shorten the moment arm again in the contracted position to thereby reduce the resistance further. So this is why hammer strength machines are good. Make sense? Moment arms. I go over all this kind of stuff in the VIP group. I guess I don't really go over it on live streams, but it's a little bit complicated for live streams. I'm trying to stick to things people like. All right. Whoa, shit. An hour went by pretty quick. Anybody got any other questions? Some quick questions. Any quick questions? All right. Here we go. Where's the highest resistance with free weights? Depends on the moment arm. So like when you're doing a biceps curl, the resistance is varied perfectly with a biceps curl. When you're fully lengthened, the moment arm is 0. You're just hanging the weight. In the middle of the range of motion, the moment arm is longest if you're doing a biceps curl with a barbell. Then when you come up again, look, the moment arm shortens again. So it drops the weight off. A standing barbell curl drops the weight off at the top, loads it the most in the middle, drops the weight off at the bottom. Perfect. There's really no need for a biceps machine, honestly. All right, let's see. All right. I often hear that bench pressing strengthens and activates the stabilizer muscles versus chest press. Can you explain? Just because a challenge of stabilization or a balance challenge is introduced or an aspect of an exercise does not mean that balance challenge produces any additional benefit. Just because you have to balance yourself or stabilize, just because you're using muscles to stabilize does not mean those muscles are effectively worked. For instance, when I'm doing a standing barbell curl, my glutes and my hamstrings are stabilizing me. Do you do a standing barbell curl to work your glutes and your hamstrings? No. Just because a muscle is acting as a stabilizer does not mean that muscle is effectively worked. Just because muscles are working as a stabilizer is fucking irrelevant. You do not want to work. You do not want stabilization is a function or a role a muscle can perform. There is no muscle in your body which only stabilizes. For instance, my abdominals spend a lot of time stabilizing my torso. So does my lower back. But the primary function of my abdominals is torso flexion. My back is lumbar extension. A muscle can be used to stabilize. Look, I'm holding my arm out. What is my medial delt doing? My lateral deltoid. Stabilizing. But is my deltoid a stabilizer muscle? No. I'm holding this glass up. What is my biceps doing? Stabilizing. Is my biceps a stabilizer? No. Stabilizing muscles is just that functional training fucking nonsense bullshit taught by people who have no clue what they're talking about. All right, guys, that's it for me tonight. It's getting late. I got a big old chicken I got to eat. All right, one more. What's your primary preferred hip extension exercise? Okay, well, it depends. Am I recommending this to, who am I recommending it to? If it's for me, I like a barbell squat. That's what I prefer. If it is a 55-year-old woman with 3 kids who hasn't been to the gym in 20 years, leg press. That's kind of what it comes down to. Is it somebody with good motor control? Squat. Is it somebody with horrible motor control? Leg press. Somebody with long lower legs and short femurs? Leg press. Or no. If somebody has long upper legs and short lower legs, they're going to be very bad at squatting. If they have poor ankle flexibility, very bad at squatting. These individuals, they're going to want a leg press. So it really depends. Which aligns with HIIT the most, doesn't matter. HIIT is a set of principles, right? Train the muscle as hard as possible, preferably by going to failure. Adjust the volume and frequency to accommodate training the muscle hard. Use a slow repetition speed to reduce momentum so you don't fuck your joints up. That's what HIIT is. There isn't really machines. I mean, if you want to get really nitty gritty with high intensity training, the best piece of equipment would be a super slow systems leg press. So the stability provided by the rotator cuff is not challenging them. Not really. No. The superficial muscles are going to be working the hardest. It's only when the superficial muscles become so fatigued that they cannot perform their function that the deeper muscles come into play. So if you were to train, the rotator cuff muscles are not capable of producing a lot of force. That's why you fuck them up when you overtrain or overuse. The rotator cuff muscles, their primary responsibility is internal and external rotation of the shoulder. If you're doing a movement that you think the rotator cuffs are acting as a stabilizer, they're not. The superficial muscles are acting as stabilizers. The rotator cuffs are not going to take over until these superficial muscles are completely fucked and dead. So it's all just myth. It's all just myth. Is a 5-minute set for squats to failure too long? Yeah. No, well, yeah, probably. Probably. That's probably a little too long. That's a long time, dude. Here's the thing. What's the purpose of a weight? The purpose of a weight is to load the muscle and fatigue more aggressively. If you're doing a 5-minute squat, well, that weight isn't really doing much, is it? Yeah, I would do time static contraction in this case, which is in the home workout. So I have a time static contraction leg exercise in the home workout plan, which comes free with Golden Era System. So if you want to learn a really good way to train your legs, go to goldenerasystem.com. There's split squat. There's time static contraction for the legs. There's wall sit. There's a bunch of exercises you could do with very little weight in the home workout, which comes free with that. So probably going to want to do that. All right, guys, I got to go eat my chicken. Thanks for joining. Hit like, subscribe, bell, blah, 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 blah. I got a video coming out. The editor is supposed to drop me the link, but, all right, one more. What is the key to staying safe and effective using dumbbell bench press? How to bail the weights properly, reaching positive failure? Drop them. I mean, honestly, I don't know. What I would do is just reach failure and just fucking fling them, man. I mean, there isn't that. That's one of the problems with the dumbbell bench press, the dumbbell chest press. It's just not the safest. I guess the safest way would be to just dump them. But then they might roll and hit somebody near you. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, it's just not the safest exercise. I mean, you could reach failure and then throw them on the ground as long as no one is near you, you'd be fine. That's about it. All right, guys. Yep, I'm going to hop off now. So go to goldenerasystem.com. Again, you get the home workout for free with Golden Era. If you're training at home, you use the home workout, guys. Like, go to Golden Era System if you're training at home. There are exercises in there that are going to be way better than any of this bullshit you will find on YouTube. Trust me. I've used them on clients for a decade. All right. Like, subscribe. See you guys later. Video coming out tomorrow, I think, as long as the editor gets his head out of his ass. And be on the lookout for it. It's a cool one. See you later.